Hello students, welcome to a new lecture of organic compounds. In the last class we were discussing about preparations of alkenes and properties, chemical properties of alkenes, right? We have seen both the reactions. Forward reaction will give you alkenes as a product and that comes under preparation, and backward reaction gives you some other product but substrate will be alkene. Those are chemical properties of alkenes. Now we will see that in chemical properties of alkenes, if you take an alkene which is unsymmetrical in nature, till now which alkene I have taken was this alkene. What was the name of this alkene? Ethene. Is it? I have taken ethene as an alkene, which means it is symmetrical. This side also has CH2, this side also has CH2. But if I take an unsymmetrical alkene like so, is it symmetrical or not? In between the double bond, this part is this part and this part is the same? No, it is not same. That means the alkene is unsymmetrical. When unsymmetrical alkene is added with unsymmetrical reagent, we have added so many reagents. We have added hydrogen gas as a reagent, we have added Cl2 as a reagent, we have added water as a reagent, and so on, right? This is symmetrical, this is also symmetrical, no problem. But these two are unsymmetrical reagents and alkene is also unsymmetrical. When unsymmetrical alkene is added with unsymmetrical reagents, there are two possibilities to get a product. You will not get only one product, you get two different products, out of which one product becomes major product around 90% and the other product becomes minor product, it is 10%, or whatever may be the ratio, but major product will be more and minor product will be less. What happen? Why is this situation arising? Because in an unsymmetrical reagent, every reagent has this type H plus Br minus. In water, H plus OH minus. In Cl2, Cl plus Cl minus. In H2, H plus H minus. Everyone has this type of charges. But if it is symmetrical, it doesn't make any difference. But if it is unsymmetrical, it makes a difference of which charge is getting added to which carbon, right? Whenever unsymmetrical reagent is added with unsymmetrical alkene, you may get two products. What is those? What are those? CH3, right? This was the alkene. On this carbon one new bond, on this carbon one new bond. Hydrogen attaches here, bromine attaches here, is one product, or bromine attaches here and hydrogen attaches here, is one product, right? Out of those two, which product becomes major is, what is the name of these two compounds? 1, 2, 3. Prop. Any double bond? No, all are single bonds. Propane. On propane there is a bromo group. Where is the bromo group? 1, 2, 3. So 1 bromo propane is the name of first product. How about the second product? 1, 2, 3. The second product is 2 bromo propane. Is it? Right. Out of 1 bromo propane and 2 bromo propane, what is the major product? Is this product. And what is the minor product? Is this product. Why you are getting two products in unequal ratios? Why 50-50 chances are not there? Because there is a rule which is followed whenever unsymmetrical reagent is added to an unsymmetrical alkene. That rule is called as Markovnikov's rule. Markovnikov's rule is the name of that rule. What does Markovnikov's rule state? Markovnikov's rule cannot be applied if this reagent is added, or this reagent is added, or this reagent is added. during these reagents that rule is not applied. Okay. So Markovnikov's rule is applied whenever HCl, HBr, HF, HI, HOH, such type of reagents, whenever they are added, then only Markovnikov's rule is applied, because it is not symmetrical, right? Now what is the rule? What does Markovnikov's rule says? Negative part of the addendum attaches to carbon containing less number of hydrogen is the major product. Negative part of the addendum means what? Reagent. Addendum means reagent. What is the reagent you are using for this reaction? This is the reagent. What is the negative part of the addendum? Negative part and positive part, right? Addendum means reagent. It has negative part as well as positive part. What is the negative part in this case? Br minus is the negative part. What is the positive part in this case? H plus is the positive part, right? Markovnikov's rule says that negative part of the addendum should attach to that carbon of the alkene in which number of hydrogens are less. How many carbons are involved in alkene? This is one carbon, this is the second carbon, right? These two carbons are involved in making an alkene. First carbon has 2 hydrogens, second carbon has only 1 hydrogen. Which carbon has least number of hydrogens? This carbon. This carbon does not have least number of hydrogens. The negative part of the addendum is Br minus. Carbon containing least number of hydrogen is the second carbon. Therefore, the product in which negative part of the addendum attaches to carbon containing less number of hydrogen is the major product, and negative part of the addendum attaches to carbon containing more number of hydrogen is the minor product. That rule is called as Markovnikov's rule, which is very important for addition reactions of alkenes, right? Alkenes follow Markovnikov's rule whenever you add any unsymmetrical reagent. If I add HCl, what will be the product? 1 chloropropane and 2 chloropropane. Right? If I add the reagent like HCl, the product will be 1 chloropropane, 2 chloropropane. Out of them, 2 chloropropane is the major one and 1 chloropropane is the minor one. If I add water, what will be the product? The same product will be obtained by following Markovnikov's rule. Water has what? H plus OH minus. What is the negative part of the addendum here? OH minus. Negative part of the addendum attaches to carbon containing less number of hydrogen. So what will be the product for water? What is the name? 1, 2, 3. Propane 1-all is the first product, and propane 2-all is the second product. This is major and this is minor. Whatever may be the reagent, but from every reagent, negative part of the addendum attaches to carbon containing less number of hydrogens. Which carbon you have to select? Out of the 2 carbons of alkene only. You should not consider the other carbons whatever is present around. Out of the 2 carbons of the alkene, whichever alkene has less number of hydrogen, that product is major. Whichever alkene has more number of hydrogen, that product is minor, right? That is Markovnikov's rule. Sometimes alkene undergoes addition reaction by not following Markovnikov's rule. Instead, they follow which rule? They follow anti-Markovnikov's rule. They follow anti-Markovnikov's rule. Markovnikov's rule is clear to us, right? So now what we will see? We will see anti-Markovnikov's rule. What does anti-Markovnikov's rule has to say? Is whenever alkene undergoes any addition reaction from same reagent, from same unsymmetrical reagent, if alkene undergoes addition reaction with an unsymmetrical reagent in the presence of peroxide, if peroxide was not there, the product was negative part major, negative part to less number of hydrogens major, negative part to more number of hydrogens minor, right? But if reagent is present along with peroxide, peroxide can be H2O2, peroxide can be benzoyl peroxide. Any peroxide is present along with HBr means Markovnikov's rule will not be followed. Anti-Markovnikov's rule will be followed, which says negative part of the addendum attaches to carbon containing more number of hydrogens. So, in the presence of peroxide, obviously there are two products, but whether you take peroxide or you don't take peroxide, products will be two only. But without peroxide means 2-bromoalkane is the major product. With peroxide means 1-bromoalkane is the major product. Right, so what is the first product? First product can be negative part attaches to carbon containing more number of hydrogens, carbon containing less number of hydrogens. For Markovnikov's rule, this product was major, but for anti-Markovnikov's rule, this product becomes minor. Then which product becomes major is the above product. That is anti-Markovnikov's rule, which says that in the presence of peroxide, negative part of the addendum attaches to carbon containing more number of hydrogens, and that is the major product. In the presence of peroxide, negative part of the addendum attaches to carbon containing less number of hydrogen is the minor product, right? So, these are Markovnikov's rule and anti-Markovnikov's rule, which we will see by applying on some different reactions. Now, let us look at this textbook example in which they are asking, write the products of addition of HBr for which substrate hex-1-ene. In the presence of peroxide, what is the product? In the absence of peroxide, what is the product, right? So, before getting to the product, what we should know? We should draw the structure of hex-1-ene. Hex means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbons, right? Let me give numberings. Same way I will write here also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will give numberings, right. So, they are asking for hex-1-ene means the double bond is at first carbon. Now, out of 4 bonds, 1, 2 already over, it should have CH2. Out of 4 bonds, 1, 2, 3 already over, it should have just H. Remaining we don't need, okay. Hex-1-ene. So, this is the compound. The numbering is 2, it's not it doesn't mean hydrogens are 2, okay. Now, in the absence of peroxide, which rule is followed for unsymmetrical reagent? Markovnikov's rule is followed. In the presence of peroxide, which rule is followed? Anti-Markovnikov's rule is followed. What does Markovnikov's rule says? Negative part of the addendum attaches to which carbon of the alkene? This is an alkene having more number of hydrogen. This is a carbon having less number of hydrogen. Out of these two carbon, it has more number of hydrogen and this has less number of hydrogens. Markovnikov rule says that negative part of the addendum attaches to carbon containing less number of hydrogen. So, we should write major product only. Right? CH2, CH remaining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. on negative part is attaches to carbon containing less number of hydrogen, and positive part attaches to carbon containing more number of hydrogen. Major product. What is the minor product? Opposite is the minor product. One, two, three, four. Negative part of the addendum attaches to carbon containing less number of hydrogen was already over. Now let us attach negative part to the carbon containing more number of hydrogen. It is minor. Right? If we follow anti-Markovnikov's rule, the products will be opposite. What was major there becomes minor here. What was minor there becomes major here. Right? Let us write the product. This is major for anti-Markovnikov's rule because negative part of the addendum does not attach to carbon containing less number of hydrogen. That means instead of attaching here, it attaches here. Same way minor is opposite. This is minor. Right? What is the name of the product? 2-bromohexane is the name of this, and 1-bromohexane is the name of the other. Same way, this is 1-bromohexane as a major one and 2-bromohexane as the minor one, right? So now we have seen how different reagent reacts. Let us now move towards alkenes. We have seen all the things about alkenes, right? Now we will move on to alkynes. Otherwise we will also see if H2O reacts with this, what happens. We will do the same exercise just by changing H2O. Okay. After you copied this, you please copy the previous one so that we will do now. Here only I would like to make the changes. What is the group here? In water, OH is present, right? What is the negative part? Wherever bromine was there, you make it as OH. Wherever bromine is there, make it as OH. What is the name of the product? Hexane 1-ol. Same way, hexane 1-ol. Sorry, 2-ol. This is 2-ol and this is 1-ol. Negative part of the addendum attaches to carbon containing less number of hydrogen, major. Negative part of the addendum attaches to carbon containing more number of hydrogens is minor. Same way, instead of writing 1-bromohexane, what you do is make it to hexane 1-ol and hexane 2-ol. Replace bromine with OH. Reagent also I have already replaced, right? If the reagent was H2O, then this type of products you will get, right? You please copy down, then we will move on to alkynes. Now the next hydrocarbon is alkynes. We have already finished alkanes and alkenes. Now we will move on to alkynes. What is the simplest alkyne I can take? With 2 carbons, right? With 2 carbons, the simplest alkyne is this. What is the name of this alkyne? Ethyne. The common name of ethyne is acetylene. But let us consider IUPAC name only throughout, right? This is the simplest alkyne. If I increase 1 carbon atoms, which alkyne you get? Let us see. As there are 2 carbons, let me make an alkene having 3 carbons, right? This is the next member of the alkyne series in which 3 carbons are there. What will be the name? 3 carbon means prop 1-ine is the next alkane. Same way, I increase the number of carbons to 4. What happens? But 1-ine is the next compound. Now I can take an alkyne in which instead of having the triple bond at first carbon, I can get a triple bond at second carbon, right? What is the name of this compound? But2ine. What is happening here? You are changing the position of triple bond from first carbon to second carbon, right? Instead of going to the basics of isomerism, let me directly tell you that in alkynes you will have position isomers if you change the position of the triple bond as well as chain isomers, right? If the number of carbons are more, then you can get chain isomers as well as position isomers, right? So directly this is the homologous series of alkynes. What is the general formula of all the alkynes? CnH2n minus 2, right? Let us substitute for the first member C2H 2 to the 4 minus 2. What do you get? C2H 2 to the 4 minus 2 is 2. Are you getting this alkene or not? Yes. Let me substitute for 3 carbons. 3 2 minus 2. What do you get? C3H 3 to the 6 minus 2 4. Right. Next alkene, what do you get? C4H24 minus 2. C4 2 4 is 8 minus 2 H6. Now what is the difference between these two? CH2 unit as always. What is the difference between these two? CH2 unit as always, right? A homologous series in which the difference between the first and the second member is CH2. The series in which first compound and the second compound has a difference of CH2 is called as homologous series. These are the homologous series of alkyne. In that series, who is the first member of the series? Alkene having 2 carbon is the first member. Then who is the second member? Alkene having 3 carbon is the second, 4 carbon is the third, and 5th carbon is the fourth, and 6th carbon is the 5th member, right? Now let us do a textbook exercise in which they are asking, write all the structural isomers for the alkyne of the 5th member in its series. In the series of alkyne, who is the 5th member? For that alkyne, you write all the structural formulas, right? 5th member of the homologous series of alkyne should have how many carbons? You already know, 6 carbons, right? If carbons should be 6, what is the formula for, general formula for alkyne? 2n minus 2. For 6, H 2 into 6 minus 2 is what? C6H12 minus 2, which means 10. Right? For this molecular formula, let us take all the structural isomers. Whenever any molecular formula is given and we are asked to write all the structural isomers, we should always start from the given molecular formula itself. In the molecular formula, if 6 carbons are given, let us directly start from 6 carbon containing compound only. Then reduce 1 carbon and go to 5 carbon containing compounds. Then reduce 1 carbon and then go to 4 carbon containing compounds. Try to decrease 1 carbon and search for all the options in that carbons. Then for 6 carbon, how many possibilities are there? That we have to write. Then for 5 carbon, how many possibilities are there? That we have to write. Shall we start writing the structural isomers for C6H10? Let us do so. What is the first isomer? Write all the 6 carbons side by side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? In which let us give numbering also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If triple bond is present at first carbon only, what is the name? Hex 1-ine. Is it? Let us not waste our time in satisfying the hydrogens. Next, what can I do? I should directly go to 5 carbon containing. Can I not change the position of the triple bond? Yes, I can. So I will do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. If the double bond was at first carbon, you got hex 1-ine. Sorry, triple bond was at first carbon means you got hex 1-ine. Let me take the triple bond at second carbon. What will be the name of the compound? Hex 2-ine. Is it correct? Yes. Now can I move towards 3 carbon containing compounds? If I move, is it going to be correct or wrong? Let me try. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. If I take the position of the double bond from 2 carbons to 3 carbons, is the numbering correct? Least possible number is coming from this side or this side? This side only. 1 2 3. From this side also least possible. 1 2 3. This side also least possible. That means the numbering is correct. Therefore the name is hex 3-ine, right? So all these are which isomers? They are position isomers in which molecular formula is same, but the position of the functional group is different. Here the functional group is a triple bond. Earlier the position was at first carbon, then the position is at second carbon, and now the final position is at third carbon. Now for 6 carbon in the longest chain, all the options are completed. Now let us reduce the number of carbons to 5. 1 2 3 4 and 5. I will give numberings also. Now what happens? At first what I have to do? I have to take alkyne first, right? In the longest carbon chain, how many carbons are coming? 5, but the total should be how many? 6. What I should do? I should take a methyl group. Let me take at second position, right? What is the name of the compound? 1 2 3 4 5 means pent. Where is the triple bond? At first carbon only, pent 1-ine. Where is the methyl group? At second carbon, 2-methyl pent 1-ine, right? Now what I will do? I will change the position of the methyl group from second carbon to third carbon. I will keep the position of the triple bond there itself. 1 2 3 4 5. Let us take the position of the triple bond here only, but in this compound I am not satisfying the tetravalency of carbon. 1 2 3 4, already 4 bonds are there. How can I add 5th bond on the carbon? So 2-methyl pentene is not possible, pentine is not possible, so I should take 3-methyl pentine only. So it should be 3-methyl pentine. Can I take 4-methyl pentine? By keeping the triple bond here only, what I will do is 1 2 3 4 methyl pentine. Is it possible? Yes. If this is the longest chain, 1 2 3 4 and 5. What is the name? Pent. Where is the triple bond? At first carbon only, pent 1-ine. Where is the methyl group? Is at fourth carbon. So 4-methyl pentine is the another isomer. 3-methyl pentine is one isomer and 4-methyl pentine is another isomer. Now what I will do? I will change the position of the triple bond from first carbon to second carbon. Can I bring the position of the triple bond from first to second without changing the methyl group? Let us check. If I keep position of triple bond here 3 4 5, the double bonds are not getting satisfied. Number of tetravalence is not getting satisfied, so I cannot bring in this compound. Now can I bring the triple bond from here to here in this compound? Yes, I can bring easily. Let me do so. 1 2 3 4 5. Where is the methyl group? At fourth carbon only. Triple bond was here. Let me bring it here. 1 2 3 4 and 5. What is the longest carbon chain? This only. Pent. Where is the triple bond now? 2-ine. Where is the methyl group? 4-methyl pent 2-ine. Now this is the isomer in which 4 carbons are there. Can I get an isomer having 3 carbons in the longest chain? Let us try. If you try, then only you will understand whether it is correct or wrong. Okay. So you have to try, and before making it final, you have to verify in the exam. 7th one, what should be the next isomer? Isomer should have only 3 carbon in the longest carbon chain, right? In which triple bond should also come. Out of the 6 carbons, I have already written 3 carbons. That means 3 more has to be written. If I add 2 I have already added. Third I cannot add. Even if I add, it becomes butane, right? 4 carbons. And even if I add 2 groups here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 carbons are coming on the tetravalence is not getting satisfied. So you can have 5 carbons in the chain 6 carbons in the chain and 4 carbons in the chain. 4 carbons, okay, I have not tried with 4 carbons, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. With 4 carbons, let us keep the triple bond at first carbon only, satisfy the hydrogens, and 4 carbons are already over. How many are left? I am left with 2 carbons. What I will do? I will keep methyl here, methyl there. Is it overcoming the tetravalency? 1, 2, 3, 4 correct. 1, 2, 3, 4 correct. 3 plus 1 correct, and this is methyl group. What is the name of this compound? Select the longest carbon chain. In which, what is the longest carbon chain? Bute is the longest carbon chain. Where is the position of triple bond? 1 ine. Where are the methyl groups? 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 3 dimethyl bute 1 ine is the next isomer. So all of them are either position isomers or chain isomers. First, second and third are having 6 carbons only. Chain is not going to change. All the 3 are having same length of chain, but the position of triple bond is changing. So first, second, third are position isomers. If you look at the fourth isomer compared to the third isomer, the fourth isomer is having a different length of the chain. In this one the length of the chain was 6, and in this one the length of the chain is 5. That means both of them are chain isomers. 4, 5th are also position isomers, in which chain is 5, but the position of the triple bond is getting changed. Therefore, these two are position isomer and this is also a position isomer. Coming to the butene, even here also chain is getting reduced to 1 carbon. Therefore, this is also chain isomer, right? In the next class, we will see the preparation and properties of alkynes. Thank you.